family gathering, Grandpa is holding the new baby, your 4-year-old goes to Grandpa and starts hitting him. You should A, ignore him, B, tell your mother to make him stop, C, give him a candy to distract him, or D, take him to another room to talk about angry feelings. My answer would be D.
Yes.
And I think we talked before the show, most people's answer would probably be D, but they don't put that into practice, do they?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been to events and I watch a lot. This makes me very curious to see how people are when they don't think they're being watched, especially in shopping centers or in grocery stores. And most of the time, you'll probably get, say, give him a candy to distract him, just to keep him quiet for the moment, or, well, or just ignore them until they get quiet. But really, the important thing is to be able to be sensitive to the child, to be empathic, to be able to help the child to name their own emotions. And the only way that they can do that is if I help them identify what their emotion is. Basically, we have 5 emotions, categories anyway. We have happiness, sadness, fear, shame, and anger. And it's not that complicated if you want to help your child to identify which of those do you think you're feeling right now? Or could it be that you're angry right now? Or could it be that you're frustrated right now?
Do you try and find out why they're angry at that point as well?
I don't think that they will necessarily know that why they're angry.
Okay.
I don't think that that's relevant. I think that the important thing is for them to be able to just label their emotion. And if you remember the first 4 parts of emotional intelligence, the first step is identifying emotions.
Right.
So they need to be learned to identify what they're feeling for themselves. That's really a wonderful thing that you can give your children, the ability to tell themselves, oh, maybe I'm feeling angry right now. Like if you've done that, that's a big step.
What's the next step then?
The next step is to be able to use their emotions. So, well, the final step is actually to be able to calm themselves down, to manage their emotions. That's your goal. But the way that you can get them to that part is to be able to help them understand their emotions. Well, maybe you're feeling tired right now, or you're feeling frustrated, it's been a long day, and maybe you just need to take some time down to calm down. Or maybe you're angry because Grandpa is paying too much attention to the baby.
A little jealousy.
And you're not getting the attention that you used to have before the baby didn't come here.
Yeah.
And maybe it would be nicer if Grandpa would put the baby down and pay attention to you too. So that starts to put a light bulb on in their head, and oh, maybe that is something that I could do. Like, Grandpa, could you put the baby down and come and play with me instead of hitting? So that way you can get to managing the emotion by starting with identifying the emotion.
So obviously we've learned that the option D was the correct one. You should take them into another room and have a conversation with them. What are some of the consequences, you know, if parents don't choose that and say give them candy to distract them, or some of the other options that you've said here?
Well, they're not going to be very positive consequences, because the child has learned that they can get away with hitting the grandfather and nothing happens.
Yeah, you're getting rewarded with a candy.
Yeah, or if you get the candy, well, why give them a reward for behavior that is unacceptable? You're going to set up.
So perceptive. They learn those things pretty quick, don't they? Absolutely.
Children pay a lot of attention to behavior and much less to a lot of talk. So if you're going to talk, use an economical amount of talk. Don't use too many words.
Is there any truth to not only talking to them, but getting down on their level as well, rather than sort of having that conversation by towering over them, even though you're calm? Should you come
I think
down
there's
to
a
their
lot.
level?
You make a very good point that when you talk to children, you should be getting down to about the same level as they're at, like at a physical level. So if they're on the floor, you get on the floor. If they're on a low chair, you get on a low chair. Don't get them to kind of look up to you so that you are this big authority figure. I think it helps to equal the playing field. And that way they'll be listening to you too. Like you have